Right now at 6, another messy morning gives way to the big thaw as a local driver who became internet famous tells his side of the story.
No matter what people are saying online, I did the right thing and I didn't hit anyone.
Plus, how President Trump's efforts to slash the federal workforce could impact the Pacific Northwest's power grid.
We are absolutely concerned about electricity system reliability with the workforce cuts that are happening at BPA.
And 75 years after falling in love, why this couple says every day is Valentine's Day.
Everything we did together. And that's the same way now.
A very happy Friday and happy Valentine's Day, everyone, where the storm has come and gone and we've seen some thawing on our roadways and in our neighborhoods. Right now, it is 37 degrees in the Rose City. A live look at Pioneer Courthouse Square with the Winter Lights Festival getting underway. And while conditions remain challenging in some spots, there is also a palpable sense of relief.
Absolutely. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino. Matt, we've been talking about that thaw, but are things likely to refreeze potentially overnight?
It'll be close. Check out Salem right now. You can see a bit of a clear sky, which is great. However, the downside to that is with a clear sky, it will get colder overnight. Temperatures, I think, mainly will stay just above freezing. But look, there's still snow on the ground at the state capitol, even though they made the 40s today. All of that is going to be with us in the morning hours. So some places where like the side roads and the back roads that never melted today, they're going to become very, very firm and solid snow or remain solid snow overnight tonight. It's 41 in Salem, but again, there's still snow on the ground and temperatures will be dropping into the low 30s. Most of the metro area isn't that far away from that. We're in the mid to upper 30s, 34 Happy Valley, 35 in Beaverton, 35 in Forest Grove. So we're not that warm, okay? I don't think we're going to drop like into the 20s, but we're close enough that the areas that still are snow covered will of course remain snow covered overnight tonight. The roads that have melted out generally won't have like black ice and refreezing, although there could be a few spots of ice on the roads that melted away because that water could refreeze in a few spots if the temperatures drop quite low enough. But we're generally in the upper 30s and low 40s and we'll stay down around 33, 34. So it's close, but I think we're not going to see an all-out freezing situation in the morning hours. We're running 2, 4, or 5 degrees warmer right now than we were at this time yesterday. Eastern Oregon, double-digit warming as we saw the westerly winds kick on in and blow that cold air out of the lower elevations. But up at Timberline, just 21, and there's been a foot of new snow, and there's more on the way as we go into tomorrow night and Sunday. So on Doppler radar, there were a few flurries and a few rain showers around, but they're really dying off right now, so I don't expect much, if anything, to fall from the sky tonight. So basically, snow-covered roads will still be snow-covered and potentially icy overnight tonight. We'll get rain late Saturday night, and warmer and wet weather will arrive Sunday and then into next week, guys.
Warm, wet weather sounds great. Thank you, Matt. Okay, so you may remember this wild video. We watched this scene unfold live yesterday on I-5 in Vancouver. A pickup truck driver struggling to get any attraction who drove, if you can call it that, up the freeway sideways.
So this video has been viewed more than 300,000 times on our YouTube page alone, and that prompted the driver, who is originally from Alaska, to reach out to share how it unfolded from inside that truck. Devin Askins has his story.
It was here along I-5 in the Hazeldale area just before noon when Nick Abernathy had left work and was trying to get home up to Longview. A stuck big rig had caused some problems on the freeway, which caused his truck to struggle to get up the freeway. The only way it wanted to go was at an angle. As snow quickly blanketed the area, the freeways jammed up with cars trying to get out of the incoming storm.
I've only lived here 3 years. I didn't even know the weather got like this here.
Nick Abernathy was on I-5 northbound in Hazeldale when trouble started.
By 11 a.m., I was completely sideways on the highway and stuck. So there was almost nothing I could have done differently.
What created the mess? A semi-truck sliding off the road and slowing traffic. Nick had lost momentum.
But it being rear-wheel drive and not having any weight in the back here, that's why you see me going sideways.
Then, almost like figure skaters moving on ice, Nick and another Silverado started driving up I-5 almost sideways.
It was very scary, but I kept my composure.
They're going up the hill sideways. I repeat, they are going up the hill almost sideways. As we reported on the traffic mess live on the air, Nick was trying his hardest to keep his truck from hitting the barrier or anyone else.
Tires are
He would
turning
be
front.
almost better off just pulling off to the side of the road. He says he couldn't.
When I heard that comment, I was like, man, this guy really doesn't know what's going on in this truck right now. I was like, if I could have just pulled over, I would have.
He says he finally gained traction after his tires hit compact snow, but not before having a few more issues.
My power steering went out, my check engine light came on, my truck started overheating, and by the grace of God, I gained control after 20-25 minutes.
In the end, he drove off without a scratch and gained a little viral fame at the same time.
No matter what people are saying online, I did the right thing and I didn't hit anyone. I didn't get stuck for good, and I made it home safely, and that's the most important thing.
In Vancouver, Devin Haskins, KGW News.
Lesson learned, I suppose. All right, we may have seen a partial thaw today, though. It was once again a messy morning on our roads. That includes the ramp from I-405 to 26, where several vehicles got stuck trying to make it over the uphill curve. That's when our crew noticed this. One guy helping out by hooking his pickup onto semis and helping them get going.
Everybody was okay. Everybody was happy to see me and the ODOT crew to help them get unstuck and keep traffic moving. Every year, as soon as it snows, I'm out here helping people out, so that makes me feel good.
We're grateful for people like him. His advice, bottom line, stay home until the snow and ice melt.
In your headlines, we are learning more about the death of a recent Newburgh High grad who investigators say was killed in an ATV accident. Police say 18-year-old Lily Vanderhoff died yesterday afternoon in rural Dundee. They say an ATV was towing a sled on a snowy road. The Oregonian reports Vanderhoff was on the sled when it crashed into a pole. The investigation is ongoing.
In Northeast Portland, 2 teenagers are facing gun charges after authorities say they seized guns and ammunition from their vehicle. Police say they spotted 2 17-year-old boys in a hotel parking lot on Northeast Sandy and Park Rose on Monday, sitting in a car that had previously eluded them. Both were arrested, and during a search of that vehicle, police say they found 3 firearms with extended magazines and modified to fire automatically. The 2 teens face charges that include unlawful possession of a machine gun.
In Marion County, a man accused of robbing 2 Woodburn convenience stores while wearing a fake bomb vest is in jail. The first robbery happened about a month ago at the Crossroad Grocery and Deli, and the other happened last Friday at Easy Stop Store. Woodburn police say 33-year-old Nicholas Contreras-Samian dumped his vest several streets away after each robbery. Officers say they spotted him yesterday wearing another fake bomb vest. He was arrested and faces charges including robbery and possession of a hoax device.
And the Clark County Sheriff's Office just released new video showing a new tool they say will help stop fleeing suspects. It is called the Grappler Police Bumper, and they've already put it to use. So early Thursday morning, Vancouver police say it helped them stop a vehicle that tried to elude officers. The device shoots out nylon straps that then grab onto the rear axle. You'll see it there. There it is, like a leash, right? The Sheriff's Office is installing the Grappler on 25 of its patrol vehicles, and it's the 3rd agency in Washington to have them.
Today, thousands of federal workers were told they are losing their jobs. Many are in Oregon and Washington. The layoffs come as the Trump administration works to slash the size of the federal workforce.
Kyle Leboshi's in the newsroom with a closer look at the local impact. Kyle?
The Bonneville Power Administration could lose nearly 20% of its workforce. That's a big deal because these are literally the people that keep the lights on in the Pacific Northwest. According to the BPA, about 200 workers resigned after accepting a federal buyout. An additional 90 job offers were rescinded, and late Thursday, sources say more than 100 new workers were fired. The BPA owns and runs 75% of the high voltage transmission in the region and provides 30% of the power. Scott Sims, executive director of the Public Power Council, which represents BPA customers, warns the people let go are not easily replaced. They're electricians, scientists, and cybersecurity experts.
These are very specialized positions where we're seeing folks that are leaving, sometimes in an entire shift of folks. So that means that we'll need to have Bonneville cover those shifts with other personnel, and that's just stretching them even further.
A former BPA executive that we spoke with this afternoon said these staff cuts could leave us in the dark due to unplanned outages. And in the end, they won't save the Trump administration any money. The BPA is a nonprofit. It's self-funded by selling power at the wholesale level to utilities. The BPA and the Department of Energy declined to comment.
Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate it. Meanwhile, the Trump administration was hit with another setback in federal court today when it comes to efforts around ending gender-affirming care for minors.
So this type of care includes puberty blockers, hormone therapies, and certain surgical procedures. Yesterday, a federal judge in Baltimore blocked President Trump's executive order that threatened to withhold federal funding from hospitals that provided gender-affirming care to people under 19. Today, a federal judge in Seattle made the same ruling in a separate lawsuit brought by Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield, along with the AGs of Washington and Minnesota, as well as 3 doctors. They argued the order discriminates against patients on the basis of sex. Today, the judge granted a temporary 14-day restraining order. The next hearing is set for February 28th.